Tessie, we're good? Yeah, all right.
Hell yeah.
On the Daily Podcast, we're here with
It's your boy Made in Philly.
AKA
Made in Philly.
full name, government. You want to give it government?
My full name?
If you want, up to you.
What type of government you looking for?
It's up to him if he
It's
wants.
Philly.
Well, I didn't get my blue check yet, but it's Mike. But I go by Made in Philly.
There's a lot of mics out there.
It's not a Mike.
Made in Philly.
Mike's
Come on, white man. Tell them who you
Josh
are.
Krieger here. Back
And,
again.
It's your boy Pro.
Skrill here. Yeah, another episode. Let the people know who you are and what you do.
So like I said, I go by the name of Made in Philly. I'm an artist here in Miami. I throw events. I do it all. I do fashion, designing for clothes, do some promo for some clubs, and that's pretty much it. Like, you know.
Okay, so jack of all trades.
Yes.
Out of all the things you do, what's your favorite?
My favorite is, I would say probably throwing events. I like to bring people together. I like hosting events, and I have my brand called Miami Pop-Up. I love throwing networking events and getting everyone involved, whether you have a clothing line or you have a food or whatever you're doing. I just try to get everyone involved, and I'm from Philly, so that's the city of brotherly love. So just showing nothing but love all the time or when I can, you know.
I was going to ask you how the name came about.
How'd you get the name?
Yeah, how'd you come up with the name?
So
I mean, it's pretty obvious, but yeah.
So my homeboy Foreign Tech, I know y'all know Foreign Tech.
Shout out
Big
Foreign.
Big Foreign.
We was in the studio one time and we was going over my he wrote my first song for me, and then after we was done the song, he was like, "You need a name," and I was like, "Made in Philly." He was like, "You made in Philly now." I was like, "All right, cool."
There you go,
And
stuck.
then it kind of just went with everything. Like, all right, kind
I'd say it
of.
was a good name.
Yeah, it was dope.
For sure, definitely.
Aged pretty well.
Well, I started
I
music.
remember the first time you came to the store and you told us that you were doing the events. And I remember telling myself, like, damn, how's that going to go? Who's he going to get to go to the event? And you were letting us know, like, your ideas and your plans for it. Do you remember how that first event went for you?
Man, I think the first event is really what started, like, it all for me, for everything. Like, everyone just came together. It's like everyone was waiting to do something, and they just couldn't, and then it just came together. Like,
Was it, it was after the pandemic?
no, it was before the pandemic. No, was it after the pandemic? It's before the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, you did it, what, like 2018, 19?
What
Around
was
there.
after? The pop-ups?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it was before.
Way before.
Yeah, way
that.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, way before.
It was when we moved here. I remember you, yeah.
Way
Yeah.
before.
But
Yeah.
before that, probably.
Yeah, it was a spot called SQL in Miami. I think it's a different club now.
And you said you're originally from Philly.
Yes.
Were you born and raised over there?
Correct.
And at what age did you move to Miami, I guess?
I moved here in Miami at what, 24? Yeah, I moved here at 24. I was supposed to go to FLOMO. It's called Florida Memorial University.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't end up going there, and, college dropout, but, it happened.
I'm on the same boat, bro. I was going to Broward College until I just said, man, my sneaker store fucks.
Shout out Broward College.
I just got the
to
fuck
Broward
out of
College.
it. It was never for me anyway, so whatever. Nothing against it, but I had to get out of
School's a
there.
scam. School's a scam.
Well, you two have
I've been quoted on
a connection with Pennsylvania. So
PA ties,
you
yeah.
actually
Big
knew
boys
him
in the
before
house,
we met
PA
him.
Boys.
Yeah, I knew Mike for.
How'd you meet Mike, Josh?
Mike was probably an Instagram link up back like when I first moved down to Miami,
It was like,
which was like 2015 type shit.
yeah, it was.
Well, how'd you find out about the story? You found out through Josh or was it somebody
I
else?
think I found out about the store through Foreign Tech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he's always been in sneakers. We always had the same size. And he was like, yo, if I can't get it, go here. And then I was always at Daily. I was at
Yeah,
part of
Yep.
the Checkers.
Yeah.
It would be
Coming
you
around.
and him, you and him, you
Yeah.
and him
Oh,
every
yeah.
week, nonstop. And
Me and Tech are the same
you would
size.
come to the store pretty much to buy every shoe that was dropping. So if we got the shoe early or some shit, you'd be like, yo, I need the 10.5 or the 11. And you made it work.
Well,
And
I
you would
wear-
sell like old shit if you didn't care for it or what the
Correct.
case was. But I remember you and Foreign Tech would always come through. And so you guys remember how the store used to be.
Correct.
So do you prefer Miami or PA?
I
Philly.
prefer Miami.
But
Yeah, Miami.
No
Philly-
brainer.
Yeah, Philly is really is wild in Philly, So if you can make it out, you can get out.
Is there any redeeming qualities about Philadelphia? Or it's just what everyone says it is?
No,
what does everyone say?
It's a
it is,
shithole.
What?
That's what people say. I've never
He
been
loves shitting
there.
on all the
I've never
cities.
been there. That's what people say. That's what it's.
What?
Philly is tough. That's
a tough
Philly,
place, yeah.
Philly's a tough place, and it's a great place, but it's a tough place, and if you can make it out, or if you can You just gotta just get
In
out.
other words, if you can move to the beautiful city of
Miami,
why
do
not?
it. Yeah. Shout out Naeem, by the way, Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's from Philly.
We'll throw Philly in the
Big
background.
headache.
So yeah, pretty much you came to our store because you like shoes. How'd you get into sneakers? What's like your first memory you remember about like the first shoe you bought that you fell in love with, Jordans or anything like that?
My first shoe, I think it was probably the 11s. You know, back in Philly, it's so hard to get sneakers, and that's when the sneaker game was like really like messed up, where you had to wait in line for 2 days, or wait in line, and I really couldn't afford Jordans back then. So the fact that I can just get them now and just not wait in line is so many. It's a lot easier to get shoes now, but
For sure.
I think that the 11s is what really got the 11 and the 3s, the Seaman 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, everyone went wild for the any color 11s.
Any color.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then the
11s are
3s were
crazy.
just a classic by then also. Coming from Philadelphia, now being in Miami, you said you like it better out here in Miami.
I love it better out here in Miami. You
Okay,
can
so
go
you
to the
love it
club.
better out here.
You can go to the club and walk out safe, and get home
And get food too.
and get food
at
too.
like 5 a.m.
At
or
5
some
in the
shit like
morning.
that. That's one thing about traveling. That when I go to other cities in the States, I'm like, fuck, everything's closed at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
You can get
Some places it's even worse.
You can get food at
And
4
that's
or
that
5
the
a.m.
pandemic fucked that up for us too down here. A lot of places no longer stay open 24 hours or even till late at night like they once. What are you looking at me like that for?
The fucking pandemic, man.
Fucked
I
everything
love
up,
it,
man.
but it did change a lot.
It did
sure.
change a lot.
This white guy's here to troll today, man. Don't let him do that to you, Philly.
So you said you were an artist, Mike.
Yes.
Tell us about your music. How you started with music? Did you start in Philly or you did it over here? when you moved here?
I started here in Miami. About 2 years ago. Like I said, Foreign Tech. He has helped me out like so much. Like, you know, he's produced majority of my songs, and like I said, I have songs with Jim Jones, Trina, Red Cafe, Joel Santana, and I'm an independent artist. So
Yeah.
for me to like even have those type of features
Oh, it's
without
big.
being a signed artist
it's
is,
big.
you know, it's pretty dope. Tafia, Zoe Dollars.
Fire.
It's just, you know, it's dope, you know, and obviously I'm in the club scene, I'm fashion, but it's pretty dope to actually be in a club and get your song heard and just working from just.
It's probably no better feeling, in
Yeah,
all honesty.
it's pretty-
It's like
it's
hearing
pretty
your
dope.
song on the radio
Yeah,
type
it's
shit,
pretty-
yeah.
Well, being in those rooms is just part of the story. How do you actually get into contact with those artists and make those moves happen to where you're actually making a song with them?
Everyone needs something. And you believe it or not, like let's say Future came down here. He might need some clothes, and then he can't get in contact, but you might can get in contact with him, or he might need some shoes. I'm gonna come to Daily, you know, and then that's how the contact start. Or somebody could post something, hey, Future is looking for an event or
A venue or something.
venue
something
or-
like that.
yeah,
A certain car to put in that venue.
exactly, or he
something.
looking for a yacht or a boat, and then that's how you just get connected, and then you just make your way.
So it doesn't even have to be about music at that point.
No, it
Just make the
doesn't.
connection any way you can.
So when you get in, and then you just gotta get in. A lot of people don't know that I used to work at Finger Licking. I don't know if you guys heard it. You heard of Finger
Yeah,
Licking?
course,
we've been
yeah,
there.
we've
we used to
been
go on break and
We used to leave.
We used to leave the store to
closed
go
for
on
hours
break.
just to go to finger licking.
Okay, so that's where I really
When there
started.
was only one location.
which one was it though?
The
That's
one
one
on-
on
on
183rd.
103rd.
One on
103rd
third,
and
yeah,
7.
103rd, yeah. So that's where I
103rd?
really started at.
Yeah.
115th.
The one in Miami
Oh, no,
Gardens.
125th.
125th.
Oh, yeah,
North
125th.
Miami.
Okay, yeah,
North
yeah,
Miami,
Not
yeah.
103rd.
It's right on 7th Avenue. Just take
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
7th, right? We're on 7th.
On 7th and 29th.
Straight up.
So you
Damn,
used
we used to
work at
drive
Finger
all the way
Licking.
over there for real. Damn, I thought it was the one in Miami Gardens.
Nah,
What did
that
y'all-
didn't exist yet.
Oh yeah, they
It
made
was
that one
only
after.
one location. It was the one.
Holy
down
shit!
there on
Yeah,
7th.
sorry about that to any customers that had to wait
Yeah,
for
that
that.
food
That
was
was
good. I'm
far.
not sorry. I gotta eat.
What did y'all like about Finger Licking that made y'all wanna?
Well,
The drink, the
hype,
fucking the
people
mystery
would
drink,
tell us, yo,
the mystery
food there
drink,
is fire.
Drink, yeah.
undefeated.
You know what's in the mystery drink?
Tell us about it.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. That shit's so fucking good, but it has so much sugar in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
You love sugar.
it's so bad. Yeah,
The mystery drink is fire.
it's yeah.
So you were saying that you used to work at Finger Licking. You were
So-
about to get into.
I used to work at Finger Licking. So before I did music, let's say I was there every day. I didn't have nothing else to do. I didn't end up going to school, so I was working every day. And when it first opened up, you could only imagine the people that came in there. Like Lil Wayne would come in there, DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Lil Baby, Nipsey Hussle, and as they were coming in, I was making their you know, I was fresh from Philly. I never seen these guys before. This on like TV and stuff. So as I was bringing the food, I was like, yo, you know, get my number. Like I said, I was hungry. Like I didn't, not hungry in a way as like I was just like eager to do everything, you know.
Exactly.
So if a call came to the restaurant and let's say Lil Wayne wanted food, I would drop it off to his house, and then I'd make that connection. Like,
That's dope.
you know, I'll go to meet up with Khaled, or I'll meet up with Jim Jones. I met up with Jim Jones at Aventura Mall one time at Zara. I was like, yo, here go your finger licking.
Bringing him food.
Like-
Damn, that's crazy.
And I went to all his hostings, his bookings, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, and like to this day, I go out with them anytime. Like I can do anything with them, and it's just they just see me from just the little kid from Philly, bringing us fried lobster
Bringing
and
the
wings, and he's doing music now. He's hosting a club, so you know that's.
Yeah, they definitely see it, you know.
But
That's
that was
dope because they get to see the beginning of
The beginning,
your
yeah.
story also.
But Finger Lick when they first opened up, it was crazy.
It was always
Like,
packed every
it was-
time we went.
And it was like every day
time.
these artists would come in, random artists, different.
Every day these artists would come, and well, you could be in the back. It was like Nipsey Hussle, The Baby, DJ Khaled, and it's like every table. It was crazy. It was amazing. It was good money, and yeah, that was just how like my journey kind of started in Miami.
That's dope, man. That kind of reminds me of the guys that work here at the shop when they're helping out certain athletes or celebrities that come through, rappers and shit. It's like they're free to make that contact too, and
Correct.
down the line, if they're able to get that person a sneaker at the end of the day, they know it's coming from one of the guys at Daily that
Correct.
helps out the store. So it's a good thing that like finger licking wasn't hating on you or like, hey, what are you doing? You know, bothering these guests and
Yeah,
they're
I would-
important people, because sometimes the companies like that.
Yeah.
And then you're not able to do your own thing and grow or potentially meet someone that you're gonna end up doing a song with,
Correct.
or make money with down the line.
Correct.
Out of all the artists that you've worked with, who's like your favorite?
I would probably say Jim Jones. Like he's just like he's a sneakerhead too.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Like,
I've taken shoes to him before.
Like
but, you know.
most of the shoes that I got him, it came from
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Like he's just, but Jim, he writes his song same night. Like he's a producer, and he talks about everything from everything that he's been through and the fashion and the style and everything. But I would definitely say Jim Jones. Yeah.
That's dope.
You know.
Is there anybody you like to work with? Like at
I
the
would
moment?
I would like to work with Meek Mill.
Meek-
I'm from Philly,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I gotta work with Meek Mill. That's the goal.
Hey man, someone out
yeah.
there, let's get that.
Yeah,
Let's
gotta-
get that to happen.
gotta work
Maybe
with
we
Meek
know
Mill.
someone that knows Meek. You never
Yeah,
know.
you never know.
Yeah, but we actually went to his birthday party this Sunday. It was amazing. Travis Scott was DJing.
Oh, shit.
Future was there. It was pretty dope.
Was that on Star Island?
No, it was at the Fiena.
Oh, okay.
Fiana?
Because Julio shot.
Oh, yeah, he shot-
Travis,
yeah,
and
shout out Julio.
I guess I was at Star Island.
He took some fire pics of Travis. Posted them today.
Travis don't like pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Oh, so if you
he
get a
took these
picture of him,
pics.
it's a
What?
big
He
deal.
do not like
He got these
pictures.
pics in the middle of the ocean. He's on like a jet ski. It's crazy. Some
yeah.
wild pics.
Travis do not like pictures. I thought that was pretty, like how big you are. Like you would expect that. Like even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
like, he
I
do
mean,
not like pictures
remember
at all.
with Kanye with the paparazzi and all that, depending on the time, the
But-
place, but
But I think like paparazzi. I think they were coming to like. He was at home and he's coming outside, and then they're right there taking pictures.
yeah, no
like,
personal space.
You don't want
Yeah.
to. Would you like to be bothered in your
Hey,
house?
if they're taking pictures of me, that means I'm doing good in life. So bring on the paparazzi. I really
Yeah.
won't give a fuck.
Sheesh.
Going back to the events, what would you say? Do you have a craziest moment that occurred at any of those events you threw?
I think one of my craziest moments, I think it was right after the pandemic. I had booked Dave East to come down, and I paid for him to come down. I think I paid him a lot of money to come down, and the venue, seeing who he was, and canceled the venue 2 hours before.
Oh my god.
And I had vendors and people coming down from Orlando, Tampa, and the amount of money I had to give back to people. Like some people understood, but it was like, but
Yeah,
it was just a headache. And Dave East was actually pretty cool, and he came. I found a venue the next day, and he came back the next day.
Oh, fire.
So that was pretty dope. But the first day would have been like.
Yeah.
you know,
Monumental
that-
for
it would,
the
yeah,
event.
it'd have been amazing, but and I was just like, damn, well, it's because it was Dave East or what was the problem? But that was a headache. Like that was the worst thing that
and
it could have rained, but it was they didn't want
the big artists, whatever, life goes on for them. But like you said, the little people behind the scene, the smaller businesses, it's like
That's who it really affects.
the most.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever you see like, a concert is canceled or something like that, like the artist is chilling.
Did the pandemic like fuck anything up for you? You're able to continue after a little bit. Like you paused and then were able to continue.
So the pandemic, it messed up a lot of, like, especially with events, because people were scared to be around other people.
For sure.
But then I ended up throwing a pop up in Atlanta, and Atlanta was the first city that opened up. Black people don't care. So they was the first city that opened up, and I did an event out there, and I had over 90 people come from Miami to go to Atlanta. We sold out the event. Everyone came to perform. It was good. It was dope. We did after parties, but Atlanta was the first city to really open up after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then after that, we took some time, and then we came to Miami. Then everything was slightly opened back up, but it couldn't be too many people.
Yeah, that's dope though, man. 90 people. People don't realize that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, bro.
I don't give a fuck.
But I think everyone was so ready to perform and just get out, because we expected the COVID to be what, 2 weeks,
2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the day we left here before everything happened. We were like, oh yeah, we'll be back in like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, hell
Yeah,
no.
nah, it was months.
And at first, everyone was kind of like, "Damn, what's gonna happen?"
No one knew.
So
anything.
imagine if you resold sneakers or if you held events, it was just the unknown. And a lot of people were scared.
Everything in the air.
So how long was the pandemic drought to when you did your next event?
Well, smaller venues that let you do event, but they only run like a certain capacity of 90 people, and everyone had to have a mask on.
Or it had to be outdoors, right? Like they were doing outdoors shit, yeah.
Or outdoors. So my first event back, after the ATL one, my second one in Miami, I had booked Tory Lanez, and that went super crazy. Shout out to Tory Lanez.
Shout out Tory.
Yeah. Tory.
Yeah, I guess shout out Tory.
Shout out to Tory.
Josh loves Tory.
I fuck with Tory.
Heavy.
He's got bangers.
I did a venue in Wynwood. It was amazing, and Tory came.
Yeah, but 2 years sounds crazy, man. I don't know what we would.
I don't know. I would have been.
I don't even want to think of that. That's wild.
That's
2
a
years.
long
That's
time.
pretty much why I asked. I was wondering, how long of a gap it was, because for every industry, it was different. For certain people, they didn't open back up until 2022.
And some people just stayed open the whole fucking time.
And then other people, they never closed.
Pretty crazy. Are you still doing the events?
So I haven't been doing events as much, but I've been focusing on music now.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people getting confused of, okay, he's promoting or he's doing clothes or he's doing events. So they're just trying to box me. So I'm just trying to just be like focused as an artist right now. I'm still doing little stuff, but not like as big as not like as a pop up.
Okay. So a little less focusing on the events, more so on making and creating
music or like hosting events. Well, I had booked for Memorial Weekend. We booked Fat Joe and Jim Jones for SLS pool party. So I want to be more in that. And I got to be performing, but I was just trying to focus more on the music, music side, like just me performing but the events I just took a break from that. So next time I do an event, it's like, okay, we got to come to his event because he's doing it so much.
Yeah, it'll be like a splash.
Yeah.
So what would you say is next for you when it comes to the music?
Got an album on the way, or?
So I'm working on my new album. We haven't decided the name for it yet, but I got some features coming up. Like I said, I got with Joel Santana on the feature. I'm working on a feature with Future.
Oh, nice.
That's
gonna be big.
Nice check. Not coming that got it.
Yeah,
Future's
go out,
expensive. Future's a very expensive.
The end result should be worth it.
Yeah,
though.
I respect.
Shout out Future.
Has Future ever disappointed?
Never. Me and the old man Griot were talking about how consistent Future has been throughout his career.
Yeah,
for sure.
Looking back at it, when you heard his first single, I was kind of like, okay, cool. I didn't think he was gonna turn into what he did.
Yeah, you got anything for Mike?
What's your favorite sneaker? Because this is like a sneaker
Oh yeah,
show.
we'll go back to the sneakers.
Is it a sneaker show or no?
It's
I don't think
everything
so.
show.
Someone asked me the other day. One of my friends was like, "Oh, I didn't watch it because I don't care about sneakers." I'm like, it's not really about that.
It's about
It's more so about the people that are on the show and
they have a
what they
discussion,
do and
for
their
sure.
story.
You still actually fuck with sneakers? You still get excited when like new shit comes out, or
I'm just a hype beast.
He's
Like
a fucking
I
hype
am a hype beast. Sometimes I will get something just to know that person can't get it. It's 700.
Just for the-
knowing
for
that
the
you won't pay
flex.
700, I would just get it, and then I'll walk into the fucking LA Fitness and then be like, oh, I didn't even know these were. I can play basketball on these. Like I would just get it. I'm really a hype beast. Like I think I want something more. Because that person might want it, and I just
Which,
get like.
I mean,
to be
yeah.
honest, that's why I think a lot of these sneakers are flopping in price.
Yeah.
Because after they come out on sneakers here, there, wherever, you realize how many people end up having these shoes, and then you're like,
Yeah, I don't
everyone
want
has
it no
these, I
more.
don't want them. Then everyone starts selling the shoe. When the shoe's actually limited, and other people can't get it,
Right.
those shoes still hold their value, or even double from what the original value was.
did you get the red boots?
I did get the red boots. I finally got them. I wore them to the Heat game, 2 weeks ago, and they hurt.
They hurt.
They hurt.
I tried them on. I wasn't able to get them off. It was tough. I had to sit down. It was very annoying.
You didn't get them on,
What
John?
would you pay on those? Because that's one of those shoes that like
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
flopped.
$450.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, okay,
you
you're
dodged
chilling.
that bullet. People
Some
are out
people
there
paid
paying
a rack or
$1,000.
I think
What's
a
market
month
out
ago
right
it would have
now?
been like 1,700.
Oh yeah.
1,200, 1,700.
I think when they came out, you hit us up, and we're like, yeah, nah, no one's brought them in yet.
But I paid $450, and they're not. Like after like 5 minutes wearing them, they hurt your ankle and like they are not.
It's just a big rubber thing.
Yeah,
on
it
your
is.
leg,
Yeah.
What would you wear with them?
Um,
What was the fit like?
Might be snapping with the
I actually
fits.
got a Heat jacket from here.
Oh, fire.
I got the Heat jacket
Shout
from
out
here, vintage
yesterday.
jacket. Shout out to yesterday.
Was it the leather one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got the Heat
yeah, I
jacket.
remember
We need the picture that way we
We'll
could
put it
throw
up,
it
we'll
in
put it
on
up.
the video edit.
And I got a
Fit
Heat.
pic.
I got a Heat jersey, and then I had some Rouge shorts on. But I had so many fits with it, but I cannot wear those boots anymore. Like,
You retired them?
yeah, they're just
fuck it.
sitting just as like an art piece in the house. Like
They do look cool just sitting there though.
they do.
I've seen a few photos on fucking Instagram like that.
You like when they sit there?
Yeah, worst case scenario, you just have a pair of Astro Boots there.
But now you gotta get the actual Astro Boy.
Nah, they're gonna do a whole line of like anime of just character sneakers. They're
That's
doing a
fire.
Mario.
Yeah,
shoe.
they did the Mario
Pretty
shits.
soon they'll do Mega Man or some shit.
That's fire. Well, I'll be getting them all.
Earlier you mentioned camping out for sneakers.
Yeah.
Is that something that you actually did, or did you avoid
No,
that?
I definitely camped out many times.
What was the last sneaker you camped out for?
Do you remember? Or was that long ago?
Okay, so last sneak. I don't think it was a sneaker. I think it was at the LV Supreme drop.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, we were
I was
there.
there.
You
for
were
2
there?
days, yeah.
How deep in the line were you? Because we were there too. It was bad.
Okay, so actually this was I think I was fifth in line.
Oh shit, you were up there.
I was there.
You went first weekend?
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
you got the
yeah,
good
yeah,
shit
yeah,
then.
you-
I was fifth in line, and my baby mom was pregnant, and she was with me in line.
Shout out, baby mom.
yeah,
She
she
was
held
there.
it down. Fuck.
She was there, and yeah, we grabbed a lot of.
And that stuff, I was surprised on how well it did out the gate, in terms of like resale.
Yeah, the resale was.
Did you keep anything, or everything was just to sell it?
I didn't keep anything.
Yeah, I didn't keep anything.
Took it
myself.
those
You sold it like
pictures.
off rip, or you did you
Well-
like wear anything, or
No, I didn't. No, I didn't wear anything. Sold
just
everything.
sold it? Yeah,
Sold every.
that was a great flip for everybody there.
Yeah, that was-
Everybody.
I think
That's
you
one
could've
camp out. Everybody
gone
made
in
money.
there blind and said, "Give me something," and
You
you
would've
still
made
made
something.
1,000
line for
plus.
2 days. It was hot. It was overnight. It was.
It
They
was-
didn't let you leave for more than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So like, if you were like me and you live 20 minutes away,
Yeah.
you were fucked.
It was crazy because when they let people start going in for the line, the first person that walked in after you sit in line for 2 days was Dave Grutman.
Oof.
He just walks.
Oh, for
right
sure.
in.
Yeah.
He just walks right in,
We-
and I'm like,
That reminds me when
can't
we
go
went in.
wrong.
Why would Grutman not walk in?
I know, but it was like,
Sis City.
All that hype, they
of
weren't
course.
expecting people to camp out like that.
Nah.
Louis wasn't having it, and I'm pretty sure Grumman woke up that morning like, you know what, I want some
well,
of
I,
this
I
stuff.
think they were having it because they had the Design District Police, but they were outside.
Yeah, they were prepared for it.
They were
I just
prepared.
didn't think that they thought that many people were gonna
Yeah.
come and then stay and play their game. Where it's like, oh, we'll only give them 20 minutes to leave. Some people couldn't go home if you
Shit.
lived in Broward.
When we walked up and we went in, we're about to get up to like tell them what we want, and then J Balvin just cuts right in front of us.
Yeah,
like
they were
the
letting people
like
in
one
all
person right in
day.
front of us. I was like, all right. I mean, what are we gonna say?
Why would
Yeah,
Balvin
fuck it.
not walk in?
No, why not? Yeah, I said fuck it. Why not?
Yeah,
He was
at
wearing the
least- at
Murakami
least the last
little.
camp out you did was worth it, man. Because some people nowadays they're camping out for sneakers that are just like I said earlier, they're gonna flop in price.
Right.
So you end up waiting 10 hours for something that's not even worth it.
Or to make $30, and it's
Yeah,
like
like,
you're
it
working
doesn't
backwards at
make
that
sense.
point, you know.
But
so.
that's one of the few campouts where like
I miss
if
that
you
one.
invested 10, you brought back 25, 30.
Josh,
no
what
matter
did you
where
get
sold.
at the camp?
I was home chilling in Pennsylvania.
it's
at that
sad.
time,
Sorry,
yeah.
man. Sorry that
we
happened to you.
invited you too, buddy.
I missed that flip.
Sorry,
What
man.
was
Sorry
it?
that
You
happened
didn't
to you.
believe in it?
No, I was out of town.
You could have gone on a plane.
I
man.
could have easily gotten a plane. I slept
Terrible.
on
And
that
you had
flip.
2 weekends, man. No excuses.
Yeah, I mean, fucking
It happens, man.
whatever.
What's next for work? Cevichote?
Yeah.
Well, stepping into full cevichote mode. Like I'm going full cevichote. Ready to do more recipes, more merch, more collabs. Trying to step into cool places. Trying to get into more markets, right? Just try some new menu items, which came out fire. Can't wait for everybody to try it. What else? Nothing, man. I'm just going full cevichote. I'm taking that leap of faith and just doing it full time. Cause it's something I've wanted to do for a long time, bro. And you know that. So it's like, that's what we're going for. Just full cevichote. Super excited, man. Hope everybody's into the playlist. Hope everybody's vibing out. And stay tuned, man. More items, more recipes, more playlists, more cevichote.
And we're back. And we're sitting here with Mike, obviously, and
Don Lee.
Might have to
Oh, okay, there we go.
Don.
talk
What's up,
into the
man?
mic.
Yeah,
talk into
Don Lee.
You gotta put it in your face.
Oh, don't
Don
do that.
Lee.
Don't stop that. Stop that.
Whoa, whoa, pause,
Pause.
Super spicy.
Don Lee. So, what's your story, man?
Yeah, man. Good friend, homie, we made in Philly. And me, I'm a celebrity stylist. I work with a lot of guys in the league. Some artists. Everybody's just looking for drip, and it's kind of how I kind of discovered the daily. But guys are looking for different things, and I've been kind of, holding my brand down, 1% Gallery, for about 12 years. And in that, it's just been kind of like not prescribing my brand to people so much. So It's also like, if you're into other brands, like instead of me like, take this, it's like, well, like I could be open to other brands. So I just started kind of helping guys figure out what they liked, and then now it's become this whole situation. Just
Earlier when we were talking outside, I kept looking at your shirt,
Yeah.
and now I understand it's your brand.
So these are super dope. These are the 1% Gallery Native Ties 1 of 1 vintage T-shirts. It's a really dope collection. I started about 2 years ago. I've had my brand for 12, but this has been a really dope collection of pieces. And I'm Black and Native American, so a huge part of what I wanted to do was kind of just kind of push my culture into the streetwear community a little bit more. Where I saw a lot of other things kind of coming about, like sports and movies and old like Dragon Ball Z, cool stuff for the vintage side. But really just wanted to start to pull my heritage into these shirts. So I started sourcing all these tees. They're all 1 of 1 from around the world, and just whatever I thought was a good visual or whatever, we start pulling them in, kind of start to break them down into these digital catalogs, and then kind of release it to
So
people.
it's a much more intimate brand than you're
Yeah.
not looking to be mainstream or just
Nah,
doing-
yeah, I don't like some of these brands like Ruigi with Rude and Jerry with Fear of God, and they want to pump it to the mainstreams. I kind of just want to like strategically place things in certain spots that I feel the culture is there for it.
So like you want to like specifically curate it,
Yeah,
essentially.
absolutely.
Okay.
Because
That's
for me,
dope.
it's like it's interesting. Like I probably made maybe like 300 of these tees specifically, and I know almost everyone that has them. Because like
That's
if
crazy.
you know things, so it really kind of you guys were talking about it earlier, just like developing relationships. How Philly was kind of taking his time meeting all these guys when he was at finger licking, and it's a similar path that I've kind of taken. It's like making sure that I really know who my end user or customer is. So.
Okay, and so when did you two meet?
Oof. So I moved to Miami from Boston about
Shout out Boston.
Yeah, shout out to Boston. We outside.
That's losing tonight.
Second guess on the show from Boston.
Losing
I
tonight.
know, it's not looking good on the scoreboard right now. But yeah, I think about 4 to 5 years ago, we lived in the same neighborhood, and one day it's funny as hell. I seen one of my homies from Boston knew one of his homies and was like, "Yo, bro, when you get out there, you gotta meet this dude made in Philly." I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Like, I'm just doing my thing. Like, I don't know. I just got out here. And I was like going to Tap 42 in Midtown, and I was like, okay, like I'm going there, and I seen him coming out the liquor store with like a whole case of mad liquor, and I was like,
During the pandemic.
During the pandemic.
like right before the pandemic, and I was like, yo, I don't know, but Buddy got that shit on. And like that's a huge part of like how I started to kind of like figure out if I want to work with you or you want to work with me.
Okay.
So like we were kind of walking the same direction because he was going down the block. And I was like, yo, man, I see you got that shit on. He's like, yeah, you know, he's sweating. He got the box full of liquor and shit. He's like, yeah, I'm having a party. Come to my party late. And I was like, dude, didn't even tell me the address or nothing. But
Was that one of the infamous apartment parties?
Yeah, that's one.
That was
Okay,
one of
I've heard stories.
That was
I've
my
heard
first time
stories.
too, and I was like,
That's
"Yo,
one
this
of
dude is wild." I was like, "He's kind of wild," but I was like, "But he got that shit on." So like, that's what I'm about, and I'm like, "Yo, if you rocking that shit, we could do some work." So
Sure, and music and sneakers, clothing,
All ties in, for sure.
styling, it all goes hand in
Yeah,
hand.
no,
So
absolutely.
it kind of kicked. I'm pretty.
How long
sure
have you been
things-
doing the styling?
So, you know, me, I don't really do so much style work. When you really break it down, it's more I'm a buyer. So a stylist will work with an influencer, an athlete or whatever. They're the one that really cares about how it's going to look. I care, but like I get flies. So like a lot of times these guys will see me and they're like, yo, I want my shit to look like his. So their stylist, that's their job, is trying to figure that out. But I'm a buyer. So if I like tell your stylist like, yo, you should buy this specific garment for your person, it'll help them get closer to like what they're trying to,
Okay.
achieve in their things. But as far as me standing next to a guy like, yo, bro, wear this, like, it's not really my thing. It's just more like, yo, bro, like
So
these
you're
are
more like,
these are some good
you're the
pieces.
plug for the drip.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
plug
the
for the
connector,
drip. It's
pretty
like
much.
these are the fire pieces, and and then their stylists will either go with it or not, or they'll go with it or not.
Which is way more important, in all honesty. Like,
I just think it's just a different type of thing. It's like the DJ is the DJ, but there's a guy that's like in the record store, like picking the vinyls. That's like, yo, bro, DJ, you should play this.
Yeah, it goes along with the curation.
Yeah.
that's dope.
Coming into, well, not coming into, but staying on the topic of sneakers. Are you also into sneakers yourself, or not so much?
Yeah, I have like a sort of like a love break story with sneakers. Like, early on, I had everything I wanted. My first pair of Jordans was like a pair of black and red 12s, all leather, amazing. My dad's super sneakerhead. He has crazy collection. And when I was a kid, my pops used to get to it. So like, he always made sure we had shit that other kids didn't have.
Okay.
And I had all the Jordans. I got foam posits as kids. I was one of those kids. And like when I kind of got a little bit older and I started picking out shit, I was like, okay, I like the Pippins. I like this, that, and the third. But then the Yeezys came out, and it changed everything. Because in Boston,
The Nike ones you're referring to.
no, the Nike ones first, and then the Adidas ones. But what was crazy about the Yeezys when those came out was no black people in Boston had Yeezys, only Asians. And that's another thing. Out here in Miami, there's not a lot of Asians.
No,
I
yeah,
don't see
not
that.
many of them.
But
Not
I
many.
saw that all the time. And I remember there was this one dude, Leon, and Leon went to, like Babson, which was like, good business school. Smart kid from Asia, but was in a good business school. Kid got cool with all the sneaker stores in Boston. Started like, doing the backdoor shit. I'll put $500 on every pair. His parents had a little bit of bread. So he was able to get all these kicks, and he would have like 30 pairs of Yeezys, taking pictures in his dorm. And I'm sitting there like,
Shout out to
I'm
Leon.
Shout out
Leon's
Leon.
the man. And I was like, yo, look,
I never met him.
I was never hating on him, but I was hot. I was like,
hating
damn,
on him,
I was like, yo,
It kind of showed you like you can make money with
yo,
this whole
but
sneaker
it was
shit.
before I even saw the money. It was just like he just buying them and you can't even get them. So like then I was like, fuck. And then I started seeing he was only selling them to like his other Asian friends who had a lot of bread. So that's where a lot of that $2,000, $1,500 started to shit.
What year did you think you started like hating on Leon?
I mean, I never.
Was
I
it
never
right
hated
away,
on Leon.
or-
Right away.
No, honestly, I never hate on Leon. If anything, to his point, it was like Leon kind of showed me that there was another market for it. It wasn't like I was hating him. It was just like, yo, like I don't understand why these sneaker stores would like do that with him. But I mean, I get it from a business perspective. They're like, yo, bro, we can make 10x on our product.
Oh, for sure.
This is before like raffles and shit. They were letting shit go before the
Yeah.
door. And I was like, damn. But then when I started seeing like, okay, now it's coming around, shit started getting to like expressions and like regular stores. I was like, okay, like I seen where that brand was going, but nah, I was never hating on Buddy. It was just like I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the game at that time because I was able to get everything else,
Made him fit. He's hitting you with the Krieger treatment. He's just trolling you right
He's
now.
a troll, son. Like,
called hating.
he's the troll, son.
So you two got anything in the works?
I
Or it's just so much like you guys feed off of one
we're
another.
brothers,
with-
man. Like we just do cool shit together.
We did some photo shoots together with his brand and my brand. But like he takes it more serious. I get bored with it and then I'm to something else. I'm trying to get the red.
You just be
boots.
doing shit.
Yeah, I just be doing. I'm trying to get the red
doing
boots. Or I'm trying to.
Yeah. I mean, look, it brought
I'm trying to
like it, you know, sometimes like he convinced me, and I'll tell you guys a really cool daily story. Like, you know, I met Philly years ago. We, you know, sync up, and I would see him and all this shit all the time. And it was around the time like things were becoming more accessible. You could start to get this shit all over again. And I'm like, yo, he always getting all this shit. Like, where is he getting certain pieces? And he's like, bro, you gotta go to the Daily. And I'm like, what the fuck is the Daily? Because I was still, you know, I wasn't from here. And he's like, I'm gonna go with you. So we went, came here. And I came to this location. I had never been to the other location. And
You lucked up.
I was like, bro, like, shout out to Philly. Like, he brought me to the motherfucking Grail.
Yeah, the
And-
old store was kind of sketchy. So
Yeah. So now, I mean, and then he showed me this, which was super dope because this is like, you know, the back of the door, which is, you know, yesterday's, and seeing all the vintage pieces and all the cool stuff. I was like, this is more my wave. So, you know, shout
Yeah,
out
so
to Philly.
you like the fact that we also had the vintage store,
Yeah,
not just
I
the
mean,
sneakers,
you know,
with
'cause-
like the generic streetwear
Because that's
clothes.
the shit that I would be on. Like, you know, I'm more of like an archive guy where, you know, when the new shit comes out, like, he gonna go get it.
Yeah,
But like, I want what was out like 7 years ago, which you can't even really find anymore.
that probably someone forgot about.
But because there's a huge market for that, and that's where like I'm like trying to tie the dots. Where it's like, you know, any young kid now can get the raffles and do this, then the third and the bots. Like, I don't even want to deal with that. But I'm like, yo, to get that Supreme Louis Vuitton backpack that you guys are sleeping out on the floor for, you know, it's a little bit different.
Christopher
like,
bag.
Yeah, that Christopher
Oh,
bag. You
man.
know, and,
Shout out
and
to Christopher
me,
bag.
I got one. You know,
You,
but
you
I'm,
just got it today. You were talking about earlier,
I just got
right?
it the other.
Or
I just
recently.
got it the other day for a great price. That's the key.
That's dope.
It's hard to come across those bags these days, especially authentic.
Because
ones.
one's sitting in DJ Khaled's crib, and one's sitting like, you know, these were exclusive pieces that are sitting places as art pieces. So to get them back on the market is insane, you know.
So we know Made in Philly has worked with countless celebrities. Have
Yeah.
you ever styled any? But I know earlier you said you styled.
I mean, yeah. So a lot
pro
of my
players.
relationships is more like, you know, I'm super cool with like Hassan Whiteside, H. That's the big homie. Trevor Ariza. You know, I'm trying to think. Tory Lanez, I worked with Tory.
Shout out Tory.
Yeah, Tory, solid.
I think.
Man. I met Tory up in Toronto. I used to live in Toronto for a couple of years, so that was really cool. Him, Roy Woods, The Weeknd. I got tapped in with a lot of EXO guys early on when I moved out there. Different scene, but it was cool. Jaylen Brown, a lot of hoop guys. You know,
If you don't mind, can you get into the process a little bit? Because sometimes we have these stylists that come
Yeah.
to Daily or Yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
it's
they
always
want to
yeah,
leave
it's-
the store with like whatever.
they want to
Let's say a rack full of shit.
They want to do a pull. They wanna
Yeah,
do a pull.
and then they want to bring back whatever the
Yeah, so that's
artist
called a
or
pull.
person
So what they
doesn't want.
typically will do is, and I mean, look, I'm different. I'm respectable to the businesses, so I leave my credit card. Like, I'm like, yo,
Okay.
y'all take my card, so at least y'all feel safe. But sometimes stylists want to come take stuff and then, you know, take it to the artist or the person, and then whatever they don't pick out, you know, whatever they pick out, you know, obviously they'll bring back and they'll say, okay, look, this is what we want to pay for. But with anything that they don't want to take, they'll just bring it back.
Yeah.
I don't think that's beneficial for stores. I mean, it helps, but like there should be another way, which is the way where I leave my card. It's more respectable, so it's like, hey, look, you don't got to worry about the money. Y'all know that my shit's gonna
Yeah,
run.
but then some of the artists they'll smoking the clothes, and then you can't even resell it the same way because it's already.
Because that's our
smoked out.
issue. Like, we don't know what's happening.
But that's
with the
Yeah,
stuff
it's not like we're
what's in
going
yours.
with them.
Or the
Like-
artist should just leave, and then now it's just like, okay, all this. Cause I've
But
seen that happen
that's two
plenty of
parts.
times.
You got to understand too. Like, hey, look, you know, with an artist is like, you know, if you're just doing like, hey, look, you just want to look fly, you want to get his shit back, or like, are you really working with somebody serious? Hey, look, bro, like, you got to buy this shit. Like, this shit is not just like I look good and you ain't got no money type shit. Like when people work with me, like it's you gonna pay because like I'm really gonna do the work. I'm gonna do the shit that makes sure that you're gonna look great. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I
we've
gotta make
had-
sure that my
We've dealt with
business
both.
partners-
I think we've
had
dealt with
stylists
both.
Who's come in and then, like, they know what their client likes and they'll just take a bunch of shit and I guess they live with it whether or not.
Or they,
the
yeah, they'll
artist
use it for
accepts
like
or not.
another
Because a lot of times that's
person.
how it is too. It's like,
And
yo,
then
bro, he's gonna
sometimes
take all this shit.
they'll have like their own archive of shit, or
Yeah.
they'll bring stuff in to trade in. Like, hey, look, they didn't want this.
Yeah.
I don't need it. It's from a photo shoot,
Yeah.
and it
Or
looks brand new.
or like what Mike said, they'll take a bunch of shit. The artist will use it, and then they try to bring it back and be like, yeah, they didn't use it.
Yeah,
But
and
yo,
there's,
it's
like,
like
stained or-
this shit
or
reeks
women's
of
makeup all
weed,
over
and the
it.
shoes are used. Like, what are you doing? What's going on here?
Craziness.
You got to find them. I think there's a middle ground. You got to,
Yeah,
like you
there's a
said, you
middle
got
ground.
to.
And like, you know, I think that's where, you know, we try to hope to kind of solve for some of those things because there's definitely a demand. You know, guys that are playing ball, like, you know, they have before the game and after the game.
Yeah.
That's when
Yeah.
they get to kind of rock the shit. Every time else, they're gym rats. They're in practice. They're in the game. And then the artists, they're all the time.
All eyes are always on those dudes,
they got to
so
look good all the time. So, they can do it themselves to a degree, and then they may need a stylist to a degree for the new shit, and they may need a plug to really get that shit. So it's just about how much you're into it,
And there's all type of styling also where like you could be on a video shoot and then you're styling the artist for that shoot and you're changing clothes. Have you ever done anything like that?
No, I don't really do so much of like, what's going to go like on a set. I mean, I had one super cool tie with Joel Santana. Shout out to Philly. We kind of connected some dots. I used to work at a store called The Arsenal in the Design District. And he came through. We did like a Dipset collab. And I met Joel's and, then started kind of meeting Jimmy and getting closer with the Dipset guys. And, he wore my shirt in the We Set the Trends video, the new one. I was like, holy shit. Like, he wearing something new that's mine in the, like, We Set the Trends with Khaled. And I was like, that was like a holy grail moment for me and my brand. And he was wearing one of these tees. So that was super cool. But, outside of that, like, I really kind of do more styling for, like how we dress right now, like, all right, day to day, like, so you feel good, like, you feel fly, and you're like, yo, I got that shit on. I'm not trying too hard.
Not so much for, like, the person who has all eyes on them, just for, like, the person who wants to upgrade or change their
I mean,
style,
it's for people that got all eyes on you, but it's just like, how do you want to look? Do you look like, Seth Rogen, these guys? Because they be having that shit on. It just be like, they just look homeless.
Yeah, it's more subtle. Yeah.
Or do you want to look like, Fab is crispy all the time. Like, Fab won't wear, like, used sneakers and like shit like he wore.
Shout out to Fab. I made him a pair of jeans, Art Basel.
Right. That was dope.
He finally put them on last week. That was dope.
What kind of jeans were they?
Well, I did the Made in Philly jeans. Did a bunch of
We'll throw them up there.
stitch work, and then I added the flares to them, like the same way how gallery jeans do.
Okay.
I took the old gallery bags and then I made the flares on them so that you kind of see.
So they're yellow?
The yellow, the white, the actual bag.
The tote bags that they give out.
The tote bags,
okay.
yeah. And
shout out to the designer, Crystal. Really held that one down.
Yeah,
that was a good pair.
yeah,
She did.
she did that. Shout out to the.
Damn, and then he actually wore the pants a few
That's
weeks
fire.
ago.
Yeah, he wore the pants.
How was that, like, seeing the photo or the video of him wearing it?
It was dope because he actually tagged me and everything was dope. But I was like, damn, like I gave you these jeans 4 months ago. Like, he put them up, was perfect timing. Now that just like motivated me to want to like, okay, I need to do more.
Yeah, that feeling is different,
That
man.
happens. We'll give sometimes we give athletes and stuff like tees, and then we don't see it for months, and then randomly they'll pop up wearing it. It's a great
Or
feeling.
even like the next day,
Or
they
the-
have
yeah,
it
yeah.
on already. It's like, damn.
But it was pretty dope because he went to Vegas and it's like he had to pack them.
Yeah.
Like he had these like I don't know if Fabio got so many clothes, like he had to like pack them, or his stylist packed them, or he packed them, and he wore them to Dreas where he performed at. So it's like he was thinking about, okay, this color goes with these jeans.
And it was something important for him, so for him to wear your jeans, that
Yeah,
makes it
definitely.
even more fulfilling.
That's dope.
We gotta get some jeans in here.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta do a pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, we could definitely run a Made in Philly pop
All day.
What y'all had a pop up with the guys from Atlanta? Was a
Enjoy World.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
World.
yeah.
That was dope.
That was a super dope pop
We
up.
also
Yeah,
did the pale one.
Yeah, we
We've had
did
a few
pale. We've done a
merch
few good.
I couldn't fit any of their clothes.
You know what's funny too? I remember.
Who, Enjoy
I
World
went
or
to this
Pale?
spot.
The
Enjoy World?
with the pockets
Was
on the
it,
pants.
Oh yeah,
Against
yeah.
All Odds?
I heard it runs really small.
Oh, the screen printers. Shout out Against All Odds
Yeah,
screen printing.
Dre.
that's
Dre and
a really
Rodrigo.
funny- It's a really funny story because I linked up with them, and I remember just being in there because when I was like getting certain shit kind of made up, I kept looking at like the shirt they had on the wall, and I was like, I've heard about this spot. This is before I came here. I had just seen it, and then when he told me, I was like, okay.
Oh, you're talking about like at the print
At the
shop
print
where they
shop.
have
Yeah,
the
they have our
different-
shirt on
They
the
did some
wall.
stuff with you, but I mean,
Yeah, they have like a sample shirt of
They had the
Haley
sample
up
shirt,
there.
and I was like, yo, I mean, it's basic, it's kind of whatever, but I was like, it's kind of hard. And I remember hearing about it, and he had told me, I forget about his name.
Dre?
Andre, Dre. He was like, yo, bro, I do stuff for the Daily and like Billionaire Boys Club and shit. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
he's,
I was like,
Yeah, he just killed it for us. We just did
so
a
then
capsule.
ever since then, I was like, yo, bro, you him. Like,
That's the
I
spot
run
in
with
the-
you
in the
with this
cut,
type
right?
of shit.
Yeah, it's in the cut. It's on 62nd.
62nd. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He, like Jonathan was getting into, we just did a F1 drop, and Dre's the main printer, and
Yeah,
even
Dre's
does
him.
embroidery for us. when we need
Him
it.
and Rodrigo.
Him and
He
Rod,
doesn't-
man.
He
yeah.
doesn't do embroidery.
No, he does. He does.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
They,
He does
they do
do it.
embroidery, screen printing, and
They're becoming a one-stop shop.
He's
now,
a
so.
screen printer though. Like
Yeah,
that
he
guy
does
is
the
the
printing,
shit.
yeah.
That's what you go there for. Like
He knows his
I
shit.
get
Yeah.
like 3M vinyl, crazy shit, but like he used to do our early pieces, but they don't do that no more. The shit I do is a little bit more crazier. So he's like, "Yo, D, I love you, but it's very time consuming." So
Yeah, he'll keep it real with you. He's
Yeah, no,
he's definitely turned down projects,
and that's why I'm
and
like,
it's
yo, I respect
understandable.
it. You know, I
Yeah, for
respect
sure.
it. But it's nice to know that like from a production side of things,
Definitely.
that's where a lot of our communities also tie into like one guy that's doing the dope shit. So,
100%.
So Philly, what do you got planned for the rest of this calendar year in terms of
Yeah. What are you doing in
what you wanna
2023?
do,
The rest of the year.
music, the brand. I know you just mentioned the pop up.
So I definitely want to bring back the basketball games. If it's not gonna be at a known, but somewhere. But I
We
need to bring
have
back
a private gym for you. It's in
Okay.
Miramar though.
Miramar.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely set that up for you.
And,
Okay.
we can't really. If you want to go through the city, you can. But if not, we have to like figure it out.
We'll discuss details after.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll
I
put you
think the
down.
basketball games is dope. Like that's when everyone loves to play basketball, and it's just like everyone gets involved. But okay, so I'm working on my new album, some features.
Is there a title for it or untitled?
Untitled yet.
Okay.
Untitled yet. My last album was called Winning Without You.
It's fair name.
I think that was pretty dope. So we're working on a new title. I just don't know what it's gonna be called yet.
It'll come
Whatever.
to you one
It'll
day.
come.
The perfect title.
Yeah, probably when I'm out drinking, I'm like, okay, that's it. That's it right there. That's the
Kind of
one.
like when we decided to take kicks off of our name.
Yep.
And the daily just kind of like the word itself, daily, made more sense.
just made
And
more sense.
Like you were saying on the shirt, just daily. We felt like, damn, we could give that to a musician. And if you do music daily, that's what you do every day. The shirt makes sense. If you play football and you do that every day, it makes sense. Like whatever you're into.
Wasn't at one point it was Daily Hialeah?
Daily,
No, the
HIA.com
Yeah, that's what it was,
the
yeah.
website.
Was the website,
because we
yeah.
were in
Website,
Hialeah,
okay.
and then when we moved down to this location, we changed it to Daily.
Yeah.
and
Shout out
like-
Hialeah.
yeah.
Always.
But the name is just
every episode.
Daily, Daily,
Yeah,
and then
that's
we put
dope.
Miami.
I
or,
thought that was super dope because, like, sort of like the point you were saying, like him and Tech, shout out to Tech. These guys would come all the time. It's like, well, I'll be there daily. Like I'm there every day.
Yeah.
Like I
Yep.
go, and that's the thing. Like for
We
your
are there
store,
daily.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's like a cool thing when you can create that demand and interest in products that you have and things that you're doing in the space to bring people every day. Like, and then have the name Daily. It's like spot on, man.
yeah,
So
just
can-
like yesterday when we were,
Yeah.
we were thinking of names for this vintage store. One of us blurted out yesterday, and we were like, run
That's the
that.
one.
It goes with the whole daily thing.
Yeah, like it's like
and-
today's today and yesterday was yesterday.
and then it's like
you know,
throwback shit yesterday. It just made sense.
It's crazy, man.
If you're a sneakerhead, you gotta like. It's every day. I'm on this
You're either saying,
this
"Oh, I
girl's
want
page.
these."
I'm on Veblen and I'm on Daily page, and that's just how it is.
I sometimes wonder how do people keep up with the algorithm, and it's like, nah, they have to
They
at some point
specifically
go out of
look
their
for
way,
it. Yeah.
go on Daily's page, and then
Oh,
just
yeah.
see what we posted for that day, or even check out the story.
yeah.
Because there's
There's so much shit
I
to look
really-
at.
if you follow 1,000 people, there's
I really
shitload
walk
of
by
stories.
faith with y'all store. I just be like, I just pull up and I be like, yo, they got my size 9 on them boots. Word, run it. Everything is just like, I just pull up with y'all
Okay.
because I know he knows everything. So if I need to really get there, I'm like, call him first.
Nah, and like some shoes, like those boots, no one had them at one point.
No.
But the marketing behind them was just like every day you would
Yep.
open your app, open whatever app you're on,
Somebody's wearing
boots, a new person
To
every
the point
day.
where you'd be like, how the hell did they get them?
And they
It
weren't
made no
available,
sense.
and then even after they dropped them, you didn't get the order for like another 2 months afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 8 weeks.
right?
A lot of people canceled their orders.
Yeah, and then it just sucks because like every day we're here, we're like, damn, bro, people want those fucking boots.
I know,
Let's
like,
get the
yeah.
boots. But
Yeah, we
then-
had DMs every day. Did you
Then
get
it's
any?
like,
in?
yo,
Did you
you-
get
People
any?
still want the boots.
We've consigned a few, and they sell like
they
the
sell
next day.
I don't,
Like,
I
people
don't
still
think
buy
any of them
them.
have sat.
But the price is relatively close to
You got
retail.
survey
So.
boots from here, right? Yeah, you got your
And if you bought them, you probably bought them the same day because those.
Yeah,
stay-
no, I got
for
this. Well, I got them the next day. He told me he was there and they dropped off and he was like, they're your size. They want like $450. I said that's perfect because I'm not cashing out for some rubber boots, but like, you know.
You super random. You got any requests for the green screen back there?
I mean, games in Boston, right? I mean, I don't know who's up right now.
Wait,
but we
I don't
can-
know if
Wait,
you
the game
wanna-
is in-
I don't
it's
know
in
if
Boston
you
right now,
want
the
a
game.
score
I
check
don't
right
know
now,
if I'm
but
gonna
it's
check
not.
that.
You
No,
don't
I mean,
want that
I
on the
think
green
the Sixers
screen.
are up.
I mean, I don't know, man.
The Sixers are big right now. It's like a 20 point.
You could put us in the heart of Soho in New York, and we could just
There you
be
go.
catching that
Soho.
vibe.
Common middle
You
ground.
know, we're all the street.
It's gonna change throughout the episode, but
where the streetwear be at, you know.
For sure.
is there a Philly D? Is there?
We actually had a guy bring in a shoe today, Phantom Travis Scott, with the tag from another local store. He paid $1,500.
So then, how do you guys deal with that? Like, you're like, all right, bro. So you're gonna.
We
take the
kind of just. Offer for $100 on something, you're confident that we're gonna toss it up for.
Or they come back to buy something and they have that sour taste in their mouth of like,
Yeah, it's 500 for something.
we also try to be either on top of like whatever's new or
What I like about that.
Yeah, and I mean, and I asked that question because like I go to all these stores all the time, and like I'm so focused on like the pieces, like the very specific pieces, that like at that point. But it's like it's so rare to.
than any
other
other store.
stores.
We guarantee.
The price being lower goes a long way for us.
What's the most you ever paid for a pair of dunks? I know you got a lot of dunks, Philly.
Pair of dunks?
Maybe the CPFMs. You had the